this might be the most important thing that you hear today, especially if you're someone who's been struggling to grow in your career, grow in your life, and there's this kind of stagnation that's there, be it health wise, financially. Good morning, guys. We're gonna get ready and let's talk about growth today. Who gives me the right to talk about career growth, financial growth, any kind of growth at all? Why am I speaking this? Apart from my work as an author, as a mentor, as someone who has had the corporate journey herself, we need to go way back into my childhood as to why I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I am someone who was literally from a village. I'm still from a village in Ghaziabad and was brought up in a very conservative family wherein women education was not at all supported. There was not a single person in my entire family who had worked in a corporate before or who even wanted to. And girls, they were just supposed to be married by 17, 18, maximum 20. And that was the kind of future that everybody was envisioning for me as well. I had a dysfunctional family growing up. I saw my mom suffering every single day, and I realized I don't want to have the same kind of destiny for me. And my mom realized that also, and she raised me, she supported me all throughout my childhood and throughout my early teens to get ahead in life. But the problem was, I was still from a village. There was nobody to guide me. I literally had 34 marks in maths in 12th, and I couldn't even speak in English. So, from there, how did this girl who was literally from a village in Kasabad go to crack CAT and get to work with the top companies in the world? Like, who can imagine that? And so I decided that was the reason why I started mentoring in the first place. I was like, if somebody like me, who is literally here, doesn't know English, has 34 marks in maths, can go from here to cracking one of the toughest competitive exams in the country and then go on to work with top companies in the world, anybody would be at a better position than I was when I started. So that's where all of this talk about growth comes from. Now, I dig deep into what were the characteristics that helped me grow personally in my life, even after ending my career and starting everything from scratch. What helped me to grow my mentoring, business as well? What were the things? Yes, people get support, and I'm really grateful for the support that I get from my mentors. But what were the personal characteristics that I had and anybody can develop to get that kind of growth in their career, in their business, financially, emotionally, socially, every single manner, health wise as well? So, what it is that really sets someone apart? And I will talk about three things today. The first thing is 100% sense of responsibility. Now, that sounds like a very common word, but be with me, I'm going to explain it to you. So, I do a 3-day workshop, which is about time. I help people figure out what kind of careers they want to get into. If the work takes up all of their time, then I help them figure out time through some really good methods, and I have great reviews about it, by the way. People from Fortune 500 companies, senior managers from there have mentioned that this workshop is something that they haven't attended before. Now, to invite people for my workshop, I personally do that. So I go ahead and talk to people. I'll give you one specific example. So there was this friend of mine. She wasn't doing great, career-wise. She has not gone to an IIM, and she was doing jobs which were not paying good. And she asked me, Deepa, you have done all of this and you mentor. Can you help me figure out my career? I don't really know how to, go into a better paying career. What should I do? And all of that, like, how do I grow in my life, and how do I actually prioritize myself, because this work that doesn't even pay that much takes up all my life. So I tell her there's this 3-day workshop that I do, and you come here, and a lot of these topics I talk about there in detail, and it's highly personalized, so come for it. This person who was having that as the biggest problem in her life goes ahead and says, I can't do it this week, can I do it some other week? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna invite you again. So I invited her second time. She said, no, I can't do this. Second time as well, I invited her for the third and final time. And then she says, I'm going for a retreat. And I'm like, it's at night. If it's something that really matters to you and it's really gonna help you, come, 90 minutes is nothing. You can take out 90 minutes from your retreat as well. And she says, no, if I'll be away from my colleagues for 90 minutes, they will feel like I'm ignoring them. So hence, I'm not going to do it. And that's what the difference is about. 100% responsibility. I talk to a lot of people and they'll be like, I'm having this problem and I want to do this. I want to reach here. And I'm like, okay, yeah, come, let's do this. You don't even have, the excuse of money part. You just come here, it's free, you can take it and you can go. Like, no commitment at all. But all of these people who say this is the biggest problem in their lives wouldn't really take the action. They've convinced their brain so much that it's other people, other circumstances, all the excuses outside, and that are responsible for them not growing in their life. So if you are someone who's been doing that, please stop. And it comes from the place of immense love. I kid you not. I was literally a girl from a village with no support, no money, no guidance, nothing at all, who does not know English. I literally had 34 marks in maths. Even someone like me had the audacity to say, okay, whatever it is that is happening with me, I do not have the control over that, but how do I react and what decisions do I take after that has happened is definitely 100% in my hands. That's how sense of responsibility works. If you want to grow in your life, you have to get that sense of responsibility. And here's a quick homework that I want to give you. What are the top 3 goals, finance wise, career wise, or maybe health wise, or what are the top 3 goals that you have been trying to achieve over the last, say, 1 year, 2 years? Okay, I want you to write down those 3 goals. And then second thing, I want you to write down what are the reasons that you think that did not happen. And all of the reasons that you have mentioned, those are excuses. Here's what sense of responsibility does, by the way. It hurts a lot to blame yourself that I was the one who was responsible for not growing in my life. It hurts going against your brain and telling brain, you have played enough games, it was my responsibility and I didn't do it. I let other circumstances, other people come in the way and act as excuses for deprioritizing myself, my own life and my own growth. It was me who did that. Once you do that, yes, it's gonna hurt, but with that comes a great power. If I am responsible for not growing, I am responsible for growing as well. It is indeed in my hands. And that's one of the biggest things that has helped me personally grow in my life. Have that sense of responsibility. If there is something that you want to work towards, you will find a way. There's Jim Rohn, who has coached, multiple billionaires in the world. He's no more, but he says something which is very true. If you want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. So rise above your excuses. Intentionally spend your day. What it is that I want to do every single week. What actions do I want to take towards growing in the goals? So setting goals is not going to get you anywhere, but actually taking actions on them is. I know you know this by far, but please do that assessment and see, are you taking 100% responsibility of your life? That's the first thing. Now the second thing, our attention has always been the biggest currency in the world, but today it's the most important, especially with the rise of social media. There's a concept which is talked about by Stephen Covey. He is one of the greatest productivity experts. He has written a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the first books that I came across in my life, second book actually. And there he talks about a concept called circle of influence versus circle of concern. Circle of concern is basically all the things that you worry about or you care about or you put your attention into. For example, who is getting elected in US, or say what's happening in the life of some other colleague, or what's happening in the market. Whatever it is that you worry about that is not in your control, that you can't significantly impact, that is your circle of concern. Okay, now there is something else known as circle of influence. Now circle of influence are the things that you can control: your actions, your thoughts, your life, who you talk to, what you do throughout the day, how you grow, your own emotions, your own mental health. every single thing that you have control over. So people who do not grow, one of the biggest reasons is that they do not really protect their attention, and they give it to the circle of concern. They're so concerned about so many things that they do not have control over, and that does not really impact their own life or does not really helps them personally grow, but worries them, takes up their time, takes up their attention. It could be social media, it could be anything. Now, people who grow are the ones who spend the most time single-handedly like this, with single attention like this, on their own area of influence, their habits, their routines, their goals, their, their diet, their fitness, their career, their growth, their skills. So people who grow are the ones who put all of their attention into their area of influence. And here's the best part about this thing, okay? When you focus on your area of influence, you'll be growing financially, career wise, and over a period of time, you will become the person whose area of influence increases. Your items that were in area of concern also gets included in the area of influence. For example, Elon Musk, he focused all his time, energy, attention into his area of influence. When he was small, he would study, he would work towards his own things, building his own stuff, right? And then he grew into his life so much, his area of influence grew so much that now he can actually have a say and significant contribution in area of concerns like environment, like AI, and all of those things which normal people just worry about. He is the person who can actually influence it. So although it is an area of concern for us right now, it's an area of influence for him. Why? Because he focused on his area of influence throughout his life. So here's another thing that you need to grow. You need to focus on your area of influence. What are the things that you can influence in your life? And if you single-handedly focus on that, grow there, your area of influence will grow so much that you will start impacting the things that you might be concerned about. So decide that I'm going to put most of my focus, attention, time into my area of influence, my habits, my routine, what I'm doing, my skills, my growth. My area of concern is not going to be my concern. And I think that is one of the other things that has helped me grow in my own life, because I didn't really have any power to influence anything. I had a dysfunctional family. I was always worried about if I'll be safe, if my sibling and mother will be safe growing up, if we'll be given enough money to pay for our education. All of those things really used to impact us, and I think that helped me become this person who realized, okay, I cannot control all of these things. Let's start with what I can control. And hence, naturally, I built this ability to focus on my area of influence and not on the area of concern. And now I have grown so much that I can go ahead and impact other people's life as well, such as my mentees' life, people who come for workshops, and people like you who hear me speak and get impacted by it. And I'm super glad I have audience like you who are concerned about their own lives, their own growth, and I'm really proud of you. Okay, so that was the second thing. If you want to grow in your life, focus on your area of influence. And let's do an exercise here. I want you to ask yourself two questions. First question is, what are the things that I put my focus, attention, time into on a day-to-day basis? I want you to write down at least 20 to 30 things. It could be reels, it could be social media, it could be different topics, okay? And then I want you to ask yourself this questions: can I significantly influence these things? And then I want you to define your own area of concern and area of influence. For example, office politics, because that you can't really control that, and you better not give your time, energy, attention into it. So yeah, do that homework, ask those two questions to yourself. First, all the things that I worry about, and second, basis which ones can I significantly impact, have full control over, and which ones I do not have control over. On the basis of this question, divide all the things that you have mentioned into area of influence and area of concern. Tell yourself that I will be focusing consciously, or I'll be putting conscious efforts to put all my time, attention, efforts into my area of influence. So that's the second thing. Now the third thing that has helped me grow, and I've seen as a characteristic in every single person who has grown well, in my own mentees, in colleagues that I had, is focus on solutions. Again, seems like a very simple thing. I'll give you an example how it makes all the difference. All our lives we get to hear two kinds of people. One kind is the one who's always cribbing. Now this problem happened, that problem happened, why does it has to happen to me? And so there is these kind of people who are always cribbing about one thing or the another, and they put their time, focus, energy, attention into those things. Again, comes from area of concern and not on the area of influence. Some things you can instantly shift from area of concern to area of influence by asking yourself the simple, okay, this is happening, what can I do to solve it? What can I do to solve it? What can I do to solve it? I'm feeling bad, what can I do to solve it? I'm not feeling like I want to do the workout, what can I do to solve it? I feel like I don't have a great relationship with my boss, what can I do to solve it? I feel like I'm stuck in a job, what can I do to solve it? I feel like I'm not getting interviews, what can I do to improve my job search strategy? I feel like I'm giving interviews but I'm not clearing them. Rather than wasting 1 year into it, what can I do to solve it? Do you see the difference? Now, let me tell you this, okay? If nobody told you, if you forget this, and it again comes from a place of love, I deeply care about you. And when I'm talking to you, I'm imagining my 15-year-old self who needed this guidance to grow in her life. Far too many of us spend a lot of our time into worrying about things rather than actually asking ourselves, what can we do to solve it? There are two parts of our brain, okay? There's this back brain, which is responsible for a lot of overthinking, and then this frontal lobe area, okay? So people who grow in their lives, they train this frontal lobe area. So how you can train your brain scientifically to make sure you're growing in your life? What you do is all the things that you're worrying about at the back of your head, so you bring it forward to your frontal lobe. Your worries, your stress are going to reduce, your mental clarity is going to improve, your attention, your focus is going to improve. That's the first thing that will happen. Second thing, when you bring it to the frontal lobe, you're training your frontal lobe, and there are immense benefits of doing that. You are able to solve problems way faster and way better than any other people who are getting stuck. So there's a scientific reason behind focusing on solutions. So make sure, start doing this practice, okay? I want you to do this exercise for say 7 days, okay? And for 7 days, every single time you feel like cribbing about something and you feel like there is something that's worrying you at the back of your head, bring it to the frontal lobe by asking yourself the question, okay, this problem is there, get it, but what can we do about it? Try it at your job. You will be doing better career wise. Like, you'll walk into a room and you will develop that personal brand as the person who is a problem solver. So this is the person that we go to because he does not believe in cribbing about problems. He believes in looking at the solutions. So people would be, your bosses, decision makers would be noticing you on a day-to-day basis. Your personal brand will become of someone who solves problems. So that's going to help you in your career. It's going to help you in your relationships, in your own personal life, things that have been stressing you out, bothering you, your mood that has been, bad. Instead of just saying, my mood is bad, it's always bad, my energy is low. Instead of being like that, ask yourself, okay, my mood is bad. Okay, I'm having this problem. How can I solve it? Where is it coming from? And you bring that from the back of your head to your frontal lobe. You train your focus, you train your attention, energy, everything, and you will soon, in just a span of 3 months, 6 months, become the person who is growing into their own lives. I have literally done this experiment. There was this person who was literally, he was supposed to be up for promotions, but he had a very bad relationship with the manager, didn't like him at all. And I told some of these things to him, and within just a few months, the manager not only liked him, he was promoted after 6 months from an analyst to an associate level. So that is what focusing on solutions can do. Make sure that you're taking 100% responsibility of your own life. What happens to you, you definitely don't have the control over that, but how we react to that, what we do about it, what decisions we take after that is 100% under our control. Second thing is, focus on your area of influence. You will grow, and you will grow to a point, area of influence will grow so much that will include the things of your area of concern. And third thing is, be someone who does not crib, stand apart from the crowd, and be someone who focuses on solution. This problem is happening, what can I do about it? This mood is bad, where is it coming from, and how do I improve it? What can I do about it? So focus on all of these three things and you will soon grow into your life. I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart and with a lot of care and love and appreciation for you. If you really want to grow, follow these things, and you can also come to a workshop that I do. It's absolutely free. There are so many good, great things that happen there. It's fun, it's easy, it's amazing. At the same time, you'll get a lot of insights into how you can save time, how you can grow in your own career, and how you can overcome all the different obstacles, be it procrastination, be it distractions. So you get a lot of practical tools. We don't talk gyan there, okay? There are just systematic, logical, proven tools, easy to use tools. I am all about easy things, okay? I would love if you come and join. I plan to do it Friday to Sunday. It's going to be at night, so it'll be easy for you to join. What I'm going to do is, below this video, I'm going to put the link of the group that I have. You can join that group and you can come in for the workshop. I love you if you do. I love you if you don't. I still wish the best for you, and I still wish that you grow immensely in your life. I'm telling you, all of this that I've talked about today comes literally from my heart. This is pure gold. If you don't do anything else, like nothing else, if you just follow these three things for 3 months, 6 months, watch yourself grow. I bet you, I give that to you as a challenge. Do that, and I'll see you on the other side when you have grown up to be a better person, a more successful person, career wise, business wise, health wise, more fit, more emotionally mature, having great, better relationships. I want to see you there. So that was the talk for today. I took far more time today. It's a topic that is very close to my heart, okay? And I don't stop yapping about this because it's so important. So, yep, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Make sure that you do the homework. And please make sure, if any of this connected with you, any of this helped you in any way, I would love to know. Like, I'm telling you, when I'm making content, I am not having great engagement. So it's not that I do it for validation, I want it for validation's sake. I just feel like, is my voice being heard by anyone at all? And if you can tell me that yes, you heard it, it connected with you, and it shifted your perspective, any way it helped you, even 1%, it would make my day. So make sure that you do that in comments, or you can DM me on Insta, here, anywhere you want. So let me know how it helped you, how it shifted your perspective, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm ready for the day and I'll continue with my day. Let's meet tomorrow.